Yep. Yep. right, everybody. We're a little bit behind with the commentary, but joined in the booth here we have Mr. Jay Helfert. How you doing, Jay?
Good, Andy. You know me. A day late and a dollar short.
Sure. Well, we do have a real good matchup here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. This is our ultimate 10-ball champion, Mika Immonen. Restored to his old days of infamy and fame. That's the first big tournament. He won just a month ago. He won a huge tournament in Tunica with a field just like this, a world-class field. Kopinyi, most of you saw him defeat Earl Strickland on the hill yesterday. Mika got by Warren Kiamko, an always tough opponent.
So this is our second opportunity to see Ko over on the TV table. Of course, right now is Mika.
You know, I think that win last month was huge, Andy, for Mika. He kind of regained his old confidence. You know, he kind of went into a little btie of a slump for a couple years.
Sure.
This will tie the match at 1. We're racing to 9. This is winner's bracket. We had a 96-player field start yesterday. Actually, they did play matches the night before last night. This is a world-class field as well. I haven't really seen the prize money yet. I suspect first prize is somewhere in the $15,000 to $20,000 range. Of course, the prestige of the title is really just as important as the money to these players. What titles mean to players like this is the opportunity for sponsorship, which is all important. You see Mika's got patches on his arm, his chest, his back. Those are all his sponsors. Interesting, he breaks with his hand on the rail. He doesn't put the cue ball as far forward as many players do. Very much a controlled break. Kind of a soft, controlled break, but he got a little fortunate at the last moment. The 5-ball rolled up and blocked Ko's path at the 1. Now, normally you would think a player would push out here, but because of where the 1's sitting, Ko may opt to kick off the end rail and knock the 1 down table. I don't see him going to the side rail and kicking at this ball. Yeah, he doesn't really want to push out here. He called push out. Well, it's interesting. He left himself hooked on the 5-ball. I think Mika's got to give this one back. And he does. Now, Ko jumps the balls very well, but this is not a jump shot. Yeah, he's going to kick off the end rail at the 1. He called the end pocket just in case, but I don't think he really believes he'll make the ball. What he'd like to do is keep the cue ball up there and kick the 1 down to the end rail. Wants to hit pretty far behind the 1. Make sure it goes up table. That's not bad. That's like perfect.
Nice.
Mika may have a little window between the 2 and the 7 to kick at the 1 ball. That's what he's looking at. can't get it through. Yeah, he's going to have to go 2 rails. Let me tell you, this is a hard ball to hit here because the side pocket's in the way. The 4 ball, that's the 4 ball, that kind of lavender ball down in the lower left. This is not the easiest ball to hit here. Well done. Well, he gave Ko a look at the 1 ball, but the only pocket Ko has got is playing this 1-3 combination, which wouldn't be that difficult if the cue ball was off the rail. He's calling it. Not an easy combination here by any means. I would say this game is on the line with this shot. If he makes it, he'll probably run out. If he misses it, it'll probably be Mika's game. And that's the way 10 ball goes often. You see, it was when you've got a backwards cut like that on a combination, it's twice as hard. Now Mika's got an open shot at the 1. The balls are all spread out, but it's interesting how much more difficult it is to run a 10 ball rack than a 9 ball. You would think one more ball doesn't make a big difference, but it really does. Well, he just tied up the 10 ball with the 8. That's not what he wanted to do. A little shake of his head on that one. Got kind of an awkward angle on the 2 ball as well. Nice inside English right there. I think the 8 will go in the side pocket. And it's possible, Andy, you may have a better look at it than me. The 8-10 might be on for the corner. It looks a little bit off.
It looks, for the most part, you can get it pretty close to the pocket. You may be able to throw it in there.
I have a feeling, though, that if he gets to the 8 ball, which he should, he's going to be shooting the 8 in the side where the 7 ball is now. Here we are in the second round of the 10 ball, and this could be a finals matchup in a world championship. That's how great these players are. To win an event like that, you're going to have to go through 5 or 6 matches like this. All great players. Beautifully done. Perfect control of that cue ball. He made that shot look a lot easier than it was. Interesting what he opted to do there. He used the 10 ball to guide the cue ball over for position. He didn't want to be jacked up like this, but he should be all right. Little soft draw stroke. This is vintage Mika right here. Nice tight position all the way through the rack. 2-1 lead. Mika's actually putting up a score right now. There's a little players are racking their own balls, and they're using the magic rack. That way, that little piece of cellophane you see them lay on the table, allows him to make a perfect rack every time. All the balls kind of lay together with that. It looks like the flimsiest device in the world compared to the old triangles, but whoever invented it was a genius because it absolutely works. Same controlled soft break. One ball down. He's up close to the one. He's got a shot at the one all the way down here in this lower left corner, but this is not the easy shot. The nice thing about this shot, he doesn't have to worry about position. If he can roll this one in, he'll be set up for the two in the same pocket. Nicely done. Well, he's got a little bit over the top of the 5 ball. He's going to have to bridge over the 5. And hold the cue ball right there. So he's got to dig real low on his cue ball. Boy, Mika is playing good. That was a tough shot right there. Looks like he's going to make quick work of this rack. Right now, the pace he's playing, the way he's stroking the ball, it reminds me of the Mika Immonen who won back-to-back U.S. Opens. It's only been 3-4 years ago that he did that. He accomplished that feat. He was 2-time Player of the Year, leading money winner. Mika was the hottest thing in pool for a couple years. Then 2011, 2012, he kind of fell off the radar a little bit. Had a lot of side distractions from business and personal issues. He did manage to win the World Cup of Pool with his partner Petra Mekkonen last year in the Philippines. That was last September. It was a huge tournament. But other than that, he hadn't shown up much for 2 years. One small win in a tournament in Virginia. But now Mika's back on track. Ko Pin-Yi, meanwhile, only 23 years old, and he's already won several titles in Asia. Considered one of the top 3 players from his native Taiwan. Both of these men would be, if there were world rankings, which there are WPA rankings, but they can be a little bit skewed sometimes. I think by their peers in the billiard community at large, they would be considered top 10 players in the world. This is the elite of the elite right here that you're watching. Let's see if he makes that same break. Interesting. Hand on the rail. Cue ball only less than a diamond out. He wants to hit the head ball. Little unfortunate there. The one ball got kicked by the 2 at the last second. Now, look at this. How many balls did he make there? 3 balls down. Now, he could. He's thinking about banking that 1 ball straight down table, because see where the 2 is? If he makes this bank, this rack belongs to him. Yeah, he's calling it. See, when a player calls a shot like this to open the rack, they're playing with a lot of confidence. He missed it. It's coming up here. Let's see what's going to happen. He's going to give up a shot, that's for sure. Well, Mika was a little fortunate there. The one ball rolled up where he can't make the one and he can't make the two. Koa's going to have to play a safety off this. But Ko can't feel too bad about it because if Mika makes that bank, he would have run that rack too. I mean, it looked like all hangers from there. Watch this shot closely and see what Ko can come up with. Let me tell you, there is no easy safety here. He's going to have to think very creatively. I don't really see the answer. I'm not even conjecturing a guess about what he's going to do here. Perhaps hit very softly on the top side of the one ball. Make sure the cue ball doesn't scratch. Maybe let the double kiss the two ball where the two ball knocks the one away. This is not a shot we shoot in practice. The beauty of pool right here. Something unique will always come up. That's what he went for, the double kiss. Actually, a fairly effective escape. Although, as you can see, he's left Mika an open look at the one ball. The problem with this shot, from that distance and that angle, it's very hard for Mika to play shape on the two. I mean, conceivably, he could draw the cue ball off the one into that four ball and stop the cue ball, but this is such a difficult shot from that distance. He's calling. Watch this. This is full-scale assault right here. Well, he did what he wanted to do, except you notice he double-kissed on the four ball and got knocked down table. He's going to cut this ball in. Boy, Mika's playing with some confidence now. Another very difficult. That's about how thin he had to hit it. This time he's the one that gets fortunate. It appears as if Ko is partially blocked by that six ball. Get ready for the jump cue. This guy is probably the jump cue master of Asia right here. I don't know if you saw it. Well, you didn't see it last night. I know that we did not stream the late light match, the 11 o'clock match. His younger brother, 17 years old, ran 8 racks against Juan Carlos Esposito. Almost ran the full set out, 9 racks. Had to play safety in last game. It was like the most brilliant performance you've got to. When this young kid plays again, hopefully we'll get him on the TV table. Unbelievable. Here we go. He's getting way up in the air on this one. He made a good hit and came out with a fairly good leave. Now, Mika's got an interesting situation here. He could bank the two ball, or he could just hide the cue ball. Boy, he's playing with confidence. He wants to shoot this ball. A lot of players here would just duck behind the 10 or the 10 of the 7. He swished that one, didn't he? It was kind of a two-way shot. If you notice where the cue ball is, in case he had missed the two ball, he was going to bounce back along the side rail. And Ko probably wouldn't have had an open shot at it. But now Mika's got this 8-foot shot on the four ball. This is basically the shot right here to win the game. Notice that high left English, swings the cue ball, 2 rails out, around the 5, and now it all belongs to him. Boy, it's nice to see Mika playing well again. You can watch all the pool you want. You won't see any better than this right here. Don't we all wish we could play this way? One 10-ball away from a 4-1 lead. And it's not like Ko has really done anything wrong. Mika's just done everything right. Mika's taking a break. He comes over, marks a score. We're going to have a little intermission here for a few minutes. I'm going to take a quick break myself. I'll see you back in 5 minutes. Don't go away. We got a lot more pool today. back in action. Taken up right where we left off. Looks like a real thin cut on this one ball for Mika, making it just that much more difficult for him to play position on the 2. I think he wants to spin into that 3 and 4 ball and stop the cue ball. See, that was... he got a little carried away with the position. He had to really cut that ball thin. Now, Ko has got a good shot on the 1 here, but where the 2 is, he's going to have to come around and shoot it to the side. He's going to have to weave the cue ball through traffic, so watch this shot closely, how he hits this ball. He's got to avoid the 4 and the 3 ball. I think he wants to go through the window between the 3 and the 5. That's what he's looking at, exactly. Yeah, that's what he's looking at. There's a nice little opening there. He wants to use right English, a little bit of maybe center right, and go to the end rail, the side rail, and just like that for the 2 ball. Masterful, masterful. He will probably use the 8 ball to get position from the 2 to the 3. Because when he goes forward on this shot, he will brush the side of the 8. I think he'd like to come across table, follow the 2 ball, go to the side rail, come back out for the 3 in the upper right corner, if he hits it correctly. Let's see. That's it. That's it. Well, he went far enough. He's going to shoot the 3 on the side, same side he made the 2 ball. Playing position to shoot the 4 in the corner. Stop the cue ball right there for the 5 next. The game looks easy when you can play position like these guys. I'd say half the game is being able to make the balls and the other half is controlling the cue ball. If you can learn to do those 2 things, you can be a great player too. I'm still working on it. See how he kept that little angle on the 7 ball? I think he's just going to try and draw straight down. Yeah, like this. Come down for the 8. Perfect speed. Perfect speed. When the players are practicing, they're trying to get the speed of the table and how the rails are responding. Well, thanks to that missed 1 ball by Mika, Ko Pin-Yi wins the 2nd game of the match. Notice the difference. Ko Pin-Yi moves the cue ball all the way out to the 2nd diamond, and he definitely does not use a soft break. He likes to crush those balls, a la Shane Van Boening. Watch this monster break. Love the way he stops the cue ball right there. He made 2 balls. He can see the 1 ball, but the only way he can stop the cue ball for the 2's up on that same rail, he'd have to bank the 1 straight down table. That's what he's calling. He may actually use that green 7 ball as a side rail or a sideboard. This is not an easy bank. This is an off-angle bank. He's got to really stiff this ball. This is a missable bank. Wow. He got the perfect kiss. Mika sits there stoically with a little frown. He knows that Ko was pretty fortunate to get that kiss. But that 1 shot opens up this rack for him. Surprised he's going this way. He's looking like he wants to draw down below the 5 ball. I'm surprised he's not just using follow English, because he's got both corner pockets he can shoot the 3 in. Well, he kind of barely got there. He was trying to come down maybe about another foot and shoot the 3 in that top left corner, looking at the screen. But he should be all right. He's got a real big area to play position for this 4 ball. Interesting the way he did that. Instead of just playing 2 rails out like into the 5 ball, he went 4 rails all the way around the table. With beautiful cue ball control. He can shoot this, he'll shoot this 4 with low left English. You watch. And the left English throws the 4 a little bit to the right, making the pocket a little bigger. It necessitates he doesn't have to cut the ball quite so much. He'll slide over to the side rail just like that, come back out for the 5. Beautifully executed shot by Ko Pin-Yi. Kind of shot. You know, pool is a game of touch and feel. It's not all the angles and geometry that people would have you believe. You really have to feel each shot and know just exactly how much English you want to use. Shooting the 5 up in the corner. Cue ball will track to the left side rail. He'll use a little bit of left English, like kind of center left. Bring the cue ball back down for that 7 ball. See, center left English, just like that. Perfectly done. He doesn't want to be dead straight. He's pretty straight. This is tough. He's drawing off this ball. Wow. Huge monster stroke he put on that ball. That was a big stroke. Now he can cut the 8 to the left, just go down to the end rail, straight back up table for the 10. Very well executed rack by Ko Pin-Yi. There were some difficult shots he had to maneuver in that rack. Nice position play all the way around. Closes the gap to 1 game. Getting back to what I was saying earlier about pool being a game of touch and feel, you will read in instructional books and you will hear instructors and teachers say, well, you want a half a tip or right or full tip left. I'm sorry, but I don't believe that. What I believe is how much you are to the right, left, up, or down is really a factor of a feel. and it's not necessarily a half a tip or a full tip. It might be somewhere between 2/3 and 3/4. It's minute differences in how the player cues the cue ball that changes the outcome of the shot. And you've got to feel that more than estimate as a half a tip or a full tip or 3/4 tip. It's something that great players just feel the right spot to hit the cue ball. It's like they're touching that cue ball with their finger and maneuvering it around the table anywhere they want it to go. On any given shot, a great player can make the cue ball go anywhere on the table depending upon where he strikes it and how hard he hits it. Boom. Down they go, and it looks like he's going to have a good shot at the one here. The 7 ball slides by the cue ball. He made 1 ball. I think that's the 6 ball that went down. I think he can shoot a pretty flat shot here. Cut the 1 in the corner and let the cue ball just see what he's doing with his cue. He's kind of pointing to the path that he wants the cue ball to track to come back down table for that 2 ball. 2 is the ball below the 10 there. He knows there's a lot of traffic here. The 9 ball and the 10 ball. He wants to go past the 9. Perfectly done. Perfectly done. Couldn't hit that shot any better. That's the 3 over in front of the other corner pocket. Again, see that draw stroke? It's such a huge difference between drawing the ball 1 foot and 16 inches or 18 inches. And it's all feel. It's all feel. And the good players feel how hard they got to hit it. Boy, the 4 balls. Yeah, I think the 4 will go in the side, so that shouldn't be. I don't see anything that's really going to present a big problem for him here. Just wants to keep that window between the 5 and the 10. Yeah, right there. That's where he wants to be. Now the 5 does not go in that other side pocket, so he's got to play position, get above the 5. Maybe it does go in the side pocket. He went around and looked at it. From our angle, from our perspective, it doesn't look like it, but yeah, interesting. Comes back across the table to shoot the 5 in the same side pocket. Once again, looked easy. It wasn't that easy. That little position shot was tricky. Masterful control he shows of the cue ball. Masterful. That's the only word I can use to describe it. Thanks to Tar, you are watching great pool by 2 of the best in the game right now. What a match to wake up to. I'm glad to be here. See, with the cue ball close to the rail, he takes his time, he gets his composure, and takes dead aim. Just like that, we're tied 4-4, and Mika hasn't done anything wrong. Copigny's done everything right for 3 games. A matchup between 2 players of this caliber, you might get a different result every time they play. One day it's Mika, one day it's Copigny. This is the round of 16 on the winner's side, so these players are already in the money in the top 24. The winner here is guaranteed top 12. I believe this match is worth $1,650, so they're already playing for a little bit of money. First prize in this tournament, $15,000. Nice payday in anybody's book. Both these men are contenders for that title. This being a key match on the road to victory right here, and they both know it. Probably the toughest matchup of this round. There's 8 matches going on in the winner's bracket right now, and this might be the best matchup of the bunch. Next up on the TV table, we have Shane versus Earl. There might be some fireworks in that match. Put your seatbelt on when those two play. That's loser's bracket. And then coming up at 6 o'clock, what a great match. It's the one-pocket finals between Dennis Arculio and Corey Deuel. That will be a marathon. It's a race to 5. Corey, the defensive specialist, and Dennis is the run-out specialist. It's a great matchup. Who wins, the great offense or the great defense? 6 o'clock today, one-pocket finals. Don't miss that one either. I'll be there. Another great break. 3 balls down in the break. Open shot at the 1. He wants to get back down table for this 3 ball. He's got to. See that? See how close he had to come to the 4 ball? He needed to get that close to the 4 ball to get this position. And just like that, the rack is wide open for him. I like the way he takes his time, though. He doesn't rush. Even though he made a good shot, he's not in any. What he's thinking about is, how can I get perfect position on the 4 to play from the 4 to the 7 ball? He doesn't want good position. He wants perfect position. These are the Mosconis of the 10-ball world right here. They're not satisfied with adequate position. They want to be perfect from ball to ball. And I'll tell you what, there ain't nobody does it better than this guy right here. What a thrill it is to see him here in the United States. We rarely see the top Asian players, particularly the Chinese players from Taiwan and mainland China. Now, he went a little bit further than he wanted on this shot. He's going to just try to go forward and slide down past that 9 ball. He's going to have to take a little bit longer shot on the 8 ball. A delicate little shot right here. Be careful, be careful. Did he go too far? Yeah, see, he's leaning down. He might not be able to see enough of this 8 ball to cut it in. He went a little bit farther than he wanted. He wanted to keep the cue ball over close to the side rail. I'm not sure. If he can't see enough, but he's going to have to. Looks like he's shooting at the edge of the ball. Once again, pool is a game of minute fractions of there. Look at this. What a great camera angle there. Thank you. He went maybe an 1/8 of an inch too far, and I mean an 1/8 of an inch. Maybe it's less than that. Can he make this ball? Can he see enough of the 8 to make the ball? He opted to shoot rail first. I'll tell you what, that was an extremely difficult shot, rail first. I'm surprised he didn't just kick the 8 away and play safe and try to leave the cue ball down there. Now, Mika's got a lot of distance here. This is not an easy shot on the 8, and it's even harder to get from the 8 to the 9, but he's got to be glad to be back at the table. Remember, he hadn't shot for 3 racks. Let's try to make the 8 draw back and forth across the table. this is fair. He's going to have to bank this ball cross side. Hold it right there for position. That's what he's calling. See him put his cue on that side pocket. He's a favorite here. I call him a big favorite now. What he was trying to do off that 8 was kill the cue ball where he could shoot the 9 down in the corner, but as you can see, went a little bit far. Once again, Mika regains the lead, 5 games to 4. Great, great match. Hey, finally some relief. Put that headset on. Oh my God, I am joined by our tournament director, Ken Schumann.
This isn't relief, it's a partnership.
There you go.
You won't get any time off yet.
I like you, partner. I like you, partner.
Thanks, Jay. I saw you up here by yourself, and I know you did a lot of work yesterday. I thought I'd just give you a little bit of a respite here.
Did I look a little lonely? Ken, I got to fill you in.
Okay.
You can see the score, 5-4 Mika. These guys are playing great. It could be a final match. These are 2 of the best. And they're absolutely 2 of the best players in the world, and they're both in peak form.
Well, Mika coming off the Ultimate 10-ball win, that gave him a boost of confidence that he hasn't had since his double U.S. Open wins, Jay. You know, he had about a 2-year tough roll there after he won his 2nd U.S. Open. And I know he was just so happy after the Ultimate 10-ball. It restored his confidence, and he really needed it.
Absolutely.
So, and I'm glad to see him, you know, back firing away the way he used to.
I said that earlier. He looks like he's in U.S. Open
Yeah,
form.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a tough opening shot. He's playing safe here.
Yeah, behind the 2-ball.
Well, he's using
Well, that's good enough.
Using
It
the 9
bounces
and 8.
a little, yeah.
I'm not sure that Ko can't see this 1 ball. It's been, it's been an interesting contrast here. Mika's been using that soft control break, and Ko Pin-Yi, it looks like Shane Van Boening. I mean, he just powers them balls. But both breaks work.
Yeah. Even if he can see the 1J, he can't get on the 2, you know, hardly at all, unless he just soft rolled it, and then he's going to have to, you know, play a safe on the 2 or cut the 2 on the other side. So I'm not sure this is even worth going for here. If
Yeah,
he
that's
can
what
see it.
I agree with you. I think he's contemplating his safety options here. And there aren't many.
Well,
it's hard for him to cross this ball because the cue ball will run into that 7.
Unless he hits it thick enough with right English and spins around the 3-5 like 2 reels up towards the 10 ball, you know, and puts the 1 behind the 3-5. But that's really hard to do.
You know, it's a tall order with the cue ball all the way down on the end rail, like
Right.
6 feet away.
Yeah, and he's only got a third of the cue ball he can hit.
Well, this is the longest I've seen either player look at a shot. Mostly what I've seen is runouts so far, and beautiful ones at that. Both these players are in peak form.
Yeah.
Like I said, this could be the finals of a major championship. Joined to my left by Mr. Robert LeBlanc, a.k.a. Cotton. Watch out for Cotton. Let's see what he's going to do here. He hasn't made up his mind yet. You see, he has a lot of respect for his opponent.
Sure.
He knows how dangerous. Is he calling?
He called it cross corner. I don't even know if it'll get by the 3 cross corner.
It doesn't look like there's a pocket there.
I think he's playing mostly cue ball here, Jay. Kind of a 2-way shot. But I think he wants to hit the one where it'll go back to the middle of the short rail if he misses it. Well,
he's going to give up a shot here.
Going to give up the game if he leaves it like this.
I'm not sure. Mika's got a good shot at the 1. Does the 2 pass the 10?
I don't think so. He can run into the 9 with the cue ball and play for a 2-10. Or he can try to bump the 2 towards this corner pocket.
I think he's going to do what you said first. Well, he didn't want to do this. He didn't want to do this.
Oh, boy.
Wait a second. He can see it. But now this combination becomes increasingly difficult.
Well, sure, because it's a double reverse cut. He's cutting the 2 one way to cut the 10 the other way. Now, it looks like the 2 might go, Jay. I think you might have been right. Yep. I don't think he would have played the 1 as firmly as he did if the 2 didn't go. And Coe's going to sell out the whole game from that safety on the 1 ball.
Coe just couldn't make up his mind what to do there. It almost looked like he shot up in the air. And I'll tell you, that's the first wayward shot I've seen in this whole match. Coe was a little bit confused, and it's going to cost him a game. Ken, tell me, how has the tournament gone so far from a point of view from your perspective as tournament director?
Well, Jay, I think it's gone absolutely great. Of course, we had the unfortunate interruption with the power outage the other night, and nobody could have planned for that. But I got to tell you, the players were so cooperative with the tournament direction staff in allowing us to get, do what we had to do. We had to play like 7 or 8 hours on first available table kind of thing. And that's tough on the players. They don't know how quick the match is going to end. It's a little hard to get prepared for it, But they worked with us, and by 6 o'clock last night, we kind of had things back on track. So we couldn't be happier, but it was a cooperative effort between the entire team and the players and Tar and everybody. But I want to make one comment too about this, Jay.
Fell a little short here on the 8 ball, Ken. Let me just put that in there.
Yeah, he did.
He wanted to be a good 1.5 feet farther.
Yeah.
See, what's going to happen here, we'll get back to that in a second.
Yeah, he's going to play the 8 in the side, run into the 9 with the cue ball, I think. That's all he can do, or bank the 8, but I think he's got to cut it.
The problem with this, running into the 9 ball, is he's got to be very careful where he puts the 9
Well,
next.
the 9 looks like it's going towards the 10, depending on how full he hits it.
Well, he couldn't have done it much better than that, could he?
Nope.
He could just roll the 9 in. The cue ball's going to go to the side rail above the 10.
Yeah, and Coe's safety choice on the 1 is going to cost him the rack, and that's a pretty pivotal rack at 5-4 down. Now it's 6-4, and Mika's still breaking.
So go ahead and continue
well,
with your...
what I wanted to kind of just point out is that although these 3 events are U.S. Open events, I don't believe that we have seen stronger international fields in years. It's been building here for the last few years with U.S. Open 1 pocket, U.S. Open 10 ball, but these could be world championships with the quality of the fields. There are no soft matches here for any of these guys. As you know, Jay, there's been no seeding in this event. So, a lot of it was you could draw, the first 3 matches, you could be playing world champions.
Well, we spoke about that earlier on Tar here on this telecast and an earlier telecast. These are world-class fields.
No question.
I compared this field right here with the Ultimate 10 ball that we had last month.
That's right.
Maybe even stronger.
Maybe only stronger because there's a dozen more players. But
were you aware of what happened last night with Coe's younger brother?
Yeah, Andy Chen filled me in on that. I guess a 7-pack. Well, he ran one out from the other guy's dry break or something, and then he put 7 on him. And then in the last game, the opponent had a kick shot, and then young Coe ran out again.
Good, we can talk more. We got a break. Coe Pinyi's taking a break.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
I watched it from beginning to end. What happened is Juan Carlos Esposito broke first, made nothing, and young, I think it's Ping Cheng Yi, I believe that's his name.
I think so.
17 years old, ran that rack and the next 7 racks, and was running out for the match, and he got a little funny on the 2-ball.
2-9.
Yeah, let me tell you something. I was sitting right here. He could have made the 2-ball, but he had no way to get position on the next ball. I mean, it was like a very risky shot. After all that running out, he played a real good safety. And Juan Carlos, after 8 games, finally came back to the table to a hard kick shot. And of course, he kicked it, left it in the open, and boom, 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 that match was over. But I mean, to run 8 racks, whatever you want to call it like that, he broke perfect. What I have to say, he never had to make a difficult shot. He never got in trouble. He plays like his older brother, but maybe better. I'm serious. He played perfect position, rack to rack to rack.
Well, there's something else I think that's worthy of mentioning based on the story you're describing is when after he ran the 7 or 8 racks, and then he ran into a situation where he couldn't get out. Even at that age, to have the maturity, to have the discipline,
and the composure
to play safe there, because when you've run 7 or 8 racks and you need one more, you want to finish the job,
Absolutely.
right? And you've got to control your emotions in a situation like that and play the shot that's going to give you the best chance to win that rack. So that's a credit to the maturity of someone at that young age.
I'll tell you who he reminds me of. Even though his style is totally unlike him, he reminds me of Keith at 17 and 18. Totally fearless.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing looks like a hard shot to him.
Yeah.
He's not intimidated. You've got to watch this guy play. I know you're busy. You're watching all these tables and all these matches. But next time he plays, do yourself a favor and walk by and watch him play a rack or two. I'll tell you, this kid could win this tournament. Of course, I think he's on the loser side. I think Ralph Sakay beat him the first round, I believe.
Well, nevertheless, like you said, he's fearless, and I guess the expression we use sometimes is he doesn't know what he doesn't know.
Yeah, right.
You know? So
he
has
doesn't
no
know
fear.
He doesn't know their hard shots. But I watched all racks. He never got lucky on one ball. He never got lucky on position. He played perfect pool. And he breaks just like his brother. And look at the kid. I don't think he weighs 100 pounds, can he? He's thin as a rail.
Yeah.
I give him about a 24-inch waist, and yet he can power those balls pretty good.
Well,
so
it's timing. It's all timing.
Thank you. The break shot's not about size and strength.
No,
it's how you go through that cue ball.
That's right. It's like a 150-pound golfer that can drive at 300 yards. It's club head speed and timing. It's the same thing in pool.
Well, Mika's back in the arena, and here comes Ko Pin-Yi. 2 warriors.
I don't know if you've had a chance to inform the audience of our following match at 3 o'clock.
Oh, I sure have.
I figured you had. That's certainly going to be well worth watching.
I hope that you or John or Bill is paying close attention, because there could be fireworks.
We'll be close by.
There could be fireworks.
We'll be close by.
What Ken's referring to, I told you earlier in this match, Shane Van Boning, Earl Strickland coming up next. That's on the loser side.
It's an elimination match, right?
Yeah. Now, these guys are in the money. I had mentioned this match right here put the winner in the top 12. That's $1,650.
Right.
And believe me, they're aware of it. So he can shoot this 1-9
Well, sure, but what he needs to do is make sure he leaves the one, right there, so he's got an angle to play off of it to, just get out in the open here and come down from the 2. Real soft, so the 1 just stays and doesn't roll to that cushion. And that was the only problem he could have run into if that 1 went onto the long rail there.
He couldn't have hit it much softer than that, could he?
No, but now, he's got to hit this with a slow left spin. And I would say the path is towards the 8-ball, Jay. What do you think? Kind of.
But depending upon how much English and
if he's full enough, he could drag it down between the 10 and the 2. I just don't know how much of the 1-ball he's got.
I hope you all watched and saw how slow he had to hit that ball to keep the 1 ball in play there. This is going to work out good. This is going to work out good. I'll tell you what, Ken, this guy right here has got as good a cue ball control as any player.
Well, Jay, I was fortunate enough, I guess it might have been 5, 6, 7 years ago, to see him win a couple of junior world championships in the States here. And I think we all knew back then when we saw him as a 14, 15, 16-year-old that look out for the next 20 years.
How old is he? 20? I think he's 22 now.
Yeah, he's in very early 20s now.
Yeah. His little brother is 17.
It was interesting you mentioned last night, I was listening to you do a little bit of the Beato match in the 1 pocket, and you told the audience that Carlo was 29 years old, and I found that a little surprising. I thought he was a little younger than that.
No, well, he's been a top player in the Philippines for 10 years, but you may not be aware, it's very difficult for the Filipino players to get visas to come to the United States. They can play throughout Asia, but until they've won major events, they can't get a visa, Ken.
Right, yeah.
Carlo had to win that Philippine National Championship.
Right, yeah. And then he won the Indonesia Open?
Yes,
right.
in Jakarta.
Yeah. By the way, we've just been given a bit of specific information about Ko's age. His birthday is in 1989, May of 1989, so he has just turned 24 years old.
Oh, he's an old man.
Yeah, he's done.
He's done.
All right, well, he did what he had to do and take advantage of that opportunity that Mika left him. He's tied it up at, he's closed it to 6-5, and he is breaking.
All because of that beautiful little combination he played to open the rack. If he'd have hit that ball a tad harder, the one ball would have gone over to the side rail and he'd have had no shot.
That's correct.
Get ready for this power break. This is the man that, he's the Asian counterpart to Shane Van Boening. What I like, they compare his break with Shane. I'll tell you why, Ken. Not only does he have power, he's got control.
Is he bringing the one ball up table into near one of the corner pockets as Shane does?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And he
Squat
pops
the cue ball?
he squats the cue ball right in the middle of the table.
Now, does the cue ball have that forward spin and it bounces back off the rack and then kind of, grips right in the middle?
Looks the same as Shane's.
All right,
Looks
well,
the
here
same
we go.
as Shane's.
Let's take a look.
Very different break when you compare Ko's break with Mika's. Mika breaks. he brings the cue ball all the way back to the first diamond and puts his hand on the rail when he breaks.
A lot of players like their hand on the rail on a 10-ball break. It gives them a little bit more body stability, I think, in going through the cue ball nice and square. But he's got his elbow locked right on that rail. Let's see if he raises up a little bit here like Shane does. Yeah, he did. See
Look
that
at the
cue
cue-
ball? See that cue
Yeah,
ball
yeah.
with the forward spin that stops it right there as it takes
Every
down?
time.
One's
Every
up
time,
there.
Ken.
One's up there in the quadrant that it normally would be in.
Bobby LeBlanc puts his hands out there like, look at this break.
Yeah.
How
Well,
many balls did he make that time? 2? Yeah.
well, this is the whole rack right here is the 1 to the 2, Jay. I mean, as long as he's not straight on the 2, he's got plenty of real estate to get down for the 3. But what's the best path to the 1 ball here?
Well,
I mean, from the 1 to the 2, do you go 3 rails short and bounce to the short rail, or do you try to come up past the 8 and slide down here?
I think he's going to just center ball.
Yeah.
And go down. Because he can come down and bump into the 7. That'll be fine.
Yeah. He's looking at his shirt, but this is cue ball fouls only, so it's not going to be an issue if his shirt rubs a ball. Yeah, it looks like a high ball just straight up the table and inside.
He's fine. He's fine. Couldn't have hit it at much. But ooh, be careful here. Don't get on top. He's okay.
Yep.
He's in good shape. See, in Asia, they play fouls on all balls in
Right.
all their tournaments over there. So
Exactly.
he's very conscious of that.
Yeah, and
He's got an angle.
I kind of think, Jay, even though we don't have the luxury of an official at every table in a lot of these events, I still think that all ball fouls is the way to play at events at this level, and having the players just police themselves on it. Most of them are very good about doing that.
Well, I've been a proponent for that for a long time.
Right.
Nice shot here.
All right,
He
he's
hasn't
got just
got much
well,
angle.
he's got a little angle, but it doesn't matter because he can straight on the 4 in the corner. He's not going to go for the 4 in the side here. He's going to just
gonna
bounce
draw the
out
ball.
for the 4 in the
Oh,
corner
you're right. Good
and
call.
stop there.
Good call.
Sure.
I'll tell you
I
one
mean,
thing
it's
about,
almost stop from here, Jay.
One thing about this guy, Ken, what I notice, once he gets in line on the first shot, that rack's all over. He never gets out of line again. All he has to do is negotiate the first shot. This match that you're watching with me, Ken, both players are shooting in the 900s. I guarantee you. I'd say mid-900s.
Well, since
There
I
hasn't-
sat down, the only mistake was Ko's bad safety on the 1 ball.
Hasn't been a missed ball. Has not been a missed ball that anybody's shot at, including bank shots. No, wait. Mika missed a bank, but it was a hard bank. A long rail bank.
Well, this is one of those type matches where both guys are playing at such a high level, you almost hate to see either one of them lose. But it's got all the earmarks of going hill anyway, Jay. I mean, sure, he could run 3 and out from here or miss, and Mika could do the same, but it just smells like hill.
Well, the winner of this match is going to be one of the favorites to win this tournament. This is a key match for both these players to get by. But of course, in a field like this, you're going to have to win like 4 or 5 matches of this caliber to win the tournament.
Sure you are. Well, don't forget, we got a player over there named Wu Jiajing, who is also undefeated.
Who's he playing?
He's playing Santos right now. And
I love watching him play too.
He's a beautiful player to watch. He's very stylish. You know, there are certain players that they just look pretty with their mechanics and their stroke and the way they move the ball around. He's got a great finesse game, but he's got the power when he needs it.
Wouldn't it be nice, Ken, if it was like golf and we could show several tables, multiple tables on TV?
You know, we'll get there eventually.
I love watching Wu play.
Yeah, me too.
To me, he's the ultimate Zen pool player. He's so into it.
Yeah.
Get ready. He's loading up his right arm.
Now he's actually going to hit the cue ball about a half a tip above center. He wasn't square on his hit, and he's going to pay for it.
That wasn't
with a dry break.
Yeah,
no, he
wasn't.
He wasn't square on the 1-ball hit. You could tell the direction of the cue ball went off to the side.
And the balls didn't spread well.
Right.
Of course, look at what Mika's got. He's got a 9-foot long cut shot on the 1.
Yeah, but he's got a dead nut safety here. He just crossed the 1 back up here and then used the 3, 6, 7, 2 as the blockers, or he could thin the 1 on the right side and 3 rail towards the 9. I kind of like crossing it myself, Jay, as long as there's no scratch.
Whoa, he almost scratched.
He hit it way too much. He actually overcut it. He was trying to do what I thought, just cross it straight down the table, but I think maybe the corner pocket scared him a little bit.
See, Mika's walking around the table, shrugging his shoulders, waving his arms. That was his weakest shot of the match so far.
Right.
I think the play of Ko Pin-Yi the last couple games kind of deflated Mika a little bit, because Mika, felt like he was in control at 6'4". This Ko Pin-Yi keeps coming at you. The match he played earlier last night against Earl Strickland, all through the match it looked like it was Earl's match, but Ko Pin-Yi found a way to win anyway.
Well, he came back with 7-5 down.
Yes, he was. And 8-6.
And 8-6 down, right. All right, well, this is a little tricky here. I think he's just got to go soft behind the 10 and get an angle on the 2. Oh, he missed the 1.
God.
He needed an angle on the 2 to get the cue ball out to play the 3 in the side, and I think he probably just put a little too much emphasis on the cue ball. He actually overhit it because he had the wrong angle on the deuce anyway.
Well, this is the first game that I would call a little bit sloppy by both players, beginning with that errant break shot by Ko.
Well, a lot of times the break itself will set the tone for the rack.
Well said, and that's what's happened here.
I almost wouldn't be surprised if Mika somehow set up to bank the 2, cross it where the cue ball can go down to the kitchen for the 3, because he's got helper balls by the side pocket to bank the 2, like from right there. Well, now he can't cross it. He can just play a straight bank.
It's a tough-looking run out, though, isn't it?
Well, it's getting on the 3, and then look at the 4s blocked by the 5. So I would try to bank this and move the 4. But what do you do with the cue ball? Can you follow it with inside and come all the way across to the middle of the table?
For the 3-ball.
Yeah, yeah.
Mika may play safe here. I think he can hide. He could possibly hide the 2-ball behind that 3, 6, 7.
What, cue ball behind the 10?
Yeah. Let's see. He didn't call a pocket.
Yeah,
here, so
I
he's
think it's
playing
cue
safe.
ball behind the 10.
Yeah, that's where he went. He's putting the two ball behind those balls.
They may need me to watch this. I don't know if Mika's going to.
Well, they may wait for a referee here, and if
Yeah,
they have
well,
to, if you got to go, you got to go.
I'll go out if they
This is a
need
close
something.
hit. This is a. Well, it depends upon it. If Coe kicks to the left by the side pocket, it's a little easier to call. But if he goes off the end rail, somebody's got to watch.
Well, actually, if he goes off the end rail, it's easier because if the 3 moves, it's bad.
There you go.
That's the way you can look at a shot like that. If he went 1 rail straight.
You know, Mika's not even thinking about calling for a referee.
Well,
these guys know
I find that
they know.
I find that most of these guys have a lot of integrity, and if they feel that it's just something that they can handle themselves, they do.
Yeah. A weaker player would probably call for a referee here.
And I don't think it has anything to do with showing respect or lack of respect. I just think it's whatever the situation. That's foul. Yeah, you hit the green ball first. You could tell by where the green ball went. There's no way you could hit the 2 first and send the green ball in that direction.
Look at this setup here, 3-5-4.
Well,
and it
that
goes.
that just solved the rack for Mika.
Well, he's still got to be a little bit careful.
Well, he's got to be careful where the 5 goes, and where the 3 goes, of course.
This has been one of the few games in the whole match that's gone more than 2 innings.
I think, Jay, what he wants to do is get the angle on the 3 to play the combination, have the 3 kiss the 5 and head towards the upper corner pocket, and the cue ball kind of like at the 8. He might have come too far for it, because the whole problem here will be having a shot on the 3.
He may just opt to leave the 3 there and play a 3-5 combination next.
It all depends, yeah. It looks like they will stay in line. No, see, that's what I thought he would do, but hit it much softer.
He hit that ball way too hard.
Sure.
It would have been a perfect shot if he'd have hit it soft. Maybe he thought the 3 was going to track straight up towards the corner.
Well, I think
pocket.
he did, but he cut it too thin. It hit the 4 too thin.
Mika and Coe have made more mistakes in this rack than they made in the previous 12 games.
Well, you know why, Jay. You put the commentator's curse on them when you praised how great they had been playing, and as soon as you said that, But we've both done that many times. So
yeah, every time I say a guy never misses a ball, he misses the next shot. Meanwhile, it's a nice safety there. Coe's going to the side rail.
I'm wondering, did he call this? Because it looks like he has a chance to make it. Yeah, he just called it. He just pointed at it, and shape is automatic if he makes it,
I don't
Jay.
think he can make it, though. I don't think he just called it just in case.
Yeah?
I don't think he can.
I think he can hit short of the side with no English.
He's gonna hit the right side of that 3
Yeah,
ball.
you know what? Now that I'm actually looking down the pool table itself rather than the monitor, and I don't think he can get the cue ball out far enough. He's got to hit the 3 on the number to make it, and I don't know if he can get it out that far.
If he tries to hit the side rail and make it, he may foul. He may hit the 5 ball. I think what he's got to do.
He's got to
here
draw
is
it a little.
Yeah,
He's got to draw it a little.
He's going to hit the inside of this ball, just like that.
Yeah.
Just like that.
And he's going to get away with it, too.
Well, the 6 ball's got Mika covered here.
It does.
This has been the first multiple inning game in the whole match right here.
Well, do you like the kick at it, try to make it, with the cue ball heading up table? It's in the big ball position for a 2-rail kick, Jay.
That's what he's lining up
and
right here.
And the cue ball will head towards the 5, 6, 8. So he has 2 possibilities. He can make it, or he can miss it and still wind up leaving Coe safe. Now he looks like he's going to spin it in rail first with inside this way.
You know how this is that ball's a little too far off the rail. I don't think you can. I mean, you might make it, and you might foul. Boy.
That's the one thing that you cannot do there. You've got to hit that ball no matter. Even if you sell out, he's still got to run 7 balls.
Totally agree.
That's why I think the 2-rail kick was assuring him he would hit the ball.
Mika kind of went off the air this rack a little bit. This is the first time I've seen him lose his composure. I agree with you. You've got to make sure you hit the ball.
Right.
You know, I like your idea of kicking off the side rail. Then it's a real big ball.
Right, and the cue ball's going up table.
Exactly.
And if you hit it fat, the 3 might come halfway across and be on the short rail.
Ken, my feeling is the earlier shots in the rack by Mika that went awry, I think that affected his thinking a little bit.
Well, I think he was also a little perturbed that Ko got a roll when Ko, missed the 3 kick. Well, he kicked the 3 and hit it, and then he got lucky on the leave with a 6 block the shot for Mika on the 3 ball.
Well, we both know that the great players, they take what the table gives them and do the best they can with it. We know how famous Efren was for that. His opponents could get the greatest roll in the world, and it never phased him. Never phased him a bit. To Efren, it was always a challenge. Of course, I'm talking about the all-time greatest, probably. He's about the only Filipino missing from this field.
Yeah, and the only reason he's not here was his commitment in Japan. But every other top player in the world is here, Jay. And this, we call this the U.S. Open. This should really be the International Open.
Well, this is
the
thanks to Mark Griffin, you, and a few other people. This has become a very prestigious event.
Oh, you bet it is. And it's a title you keep forever. You'll always be known as a U.S. Open champion, and to go through this kind of a field and wind up with the trophy is just a tremendous accomplishment.
This is the first time in the match Ko has been in the lead. Right here, 7-6.
From 6-4 down.
He's trailed by 1 and 2 games throughout the match. He did tie it up once earlier. He tied it at 4-4. Well, we're in the stretch drive now. I was talking to John Lehman last night, and he was sitting up here with me. And, from this point of view, you've got an excellent view of all the tables. And he said next year, we're probably going to put our tournament desk up here.
Yeah,
and I said, that makes sense.
Yeah, there's plenty of room to do it. The location they have us in is not as ideal. It's not only for viewing, but we're actually only about 12 to 15 feet from a match table. And, there's obviously times
a lot of
when,
traffic.
Well, not only traffic, but up at the tournament desk at times we have to discuss things, and where our voices carry, and
disturbs the players on the
and we don't want to do that. Yeah, so hey, it's just part of the growing process here. It's our first time, but what a terrific venue. Isn't this great, Jay?
What a terrific venue, the Rio Hotel. I was just going to say that. What a beautiful place. Kind of a step up from the last venue. I would
kind of.
I was being sarcastic.
All right, let's see if he gets back to his square hit here.
I think Mika's glad that game's over.
Mika needs to get to the table. Yeah,
that's
there
more
it
like
is.
it. That's
there
more
it is.
like it.
But he's dry.
These last 2 breaks are his first dry breaks.
Well, the last one he didn't hit square. This one he really did hit solid. I think he's got to bank it, Jay. I mean, it looks maybe he can cut it, but if he cuts it, I know the cue ball is going to head near that 5-6, isn't it? It almost looks like the bank is easier to control the cue ball.
Very thin cut on this one ball, and even a bank is not a full pocket.
No, I don't think the 6 ball or the 7,
he's
whatever that
the
green
bank.
one is. Yeah,
He's
I
calling
think
the bank.
the bank's easier to control the cue ball here.
This is not a hanger. Wow.
He swished it. See that? He to cut it in the side, it would have needed a finesse stroke, and he had too much traffic to deal with. I like his choice there. Now he's got a real narrow lane between that
between the
8 and the 9, right? But any angle on the 3 will work.
Difficult position shot here. Difficult position shot.
Wow.
I
I thought he'd follow that 2 rails around, Jay, and that way after he hit the second rail, he'd be coming right at the 3 ball. But I guess he just didn't want to take a chance.
Can he see enough of the 3 ball to make it?
I think he can, sure, yeah.
Okay.
But now, if the 4 doesn't pass the 10, He's got to play very, very precise position.
He's got to come with another big shot right here.
I think the 4 will pass the 10, but he needs the proper angle. That's a little short. Yeah, too much draw there.
I don't see a pocket for the 4 ball. I don't think you could bank past the 9.
Well,
Yeah,
if you do, you can't get on the 5 anyway. He's looking at the back cut, or he can roll him right up on the 10. Just play safe.
It sure looks like a safety situation.
If you roll him, yeah, he's going to bank it.
Boy, he's throwing caution to the wind here.
Well, I think he just does. Yeah, he's afraid to give up the table. This is very, very.
That 9 was in the way.
Yeah, this is very un-Mika-like. His thought process and his decision making these last couple games indicate frustration.
I'm sorry you had to come and see this part of the match, Ken. It was so beautiful the first 12 games, and now Mika's gone off the air a little bit the last couple of games.
And of course, Ko has maintained his composure as he's been known to. But you know when it turned? When Ko took the timeout. It was 6-4 Mika.
Mika absolutely did not have to bank at that 4 ball. Isn't it funny how when one player kind of, falls off a little bit their game, it can affect their opponent?
Sure it can. Well, what I mean, back to the Mika thing, and it's very easy for us to second guess world champions sitting up here, Jay, but what I really didn't like was the way Mika went from the 2 to the 3. I thought he should come 2 rails around and get closer to the 3, and he wound up being so far away from it that it was a very difficult shot to get in the 3-inch square he needed to get to play the 4 and still have an angle to get down for the 5.
Well, sometimes when you make mistakes, they compound themselves, and your thought processes get a little bit foggy.
Right. At this level, it's not their inability to make shots. It's between the ears. Ko is 4 balls from being on the hill. The 8 goes in both corners. I kind of like a little inside here, even though you'd actually want to be on the side the cue ball is to go from the 8 to the 9, but I really don't think it matters, Jay. I think any angle on the 8 in either corner pocket will suffice, but he did pick the correct side, and now it's very simple. You just draw it into the side rail, and it just doesn't want to be straight in on the 9 ball. Didn't even have to go to the side rail.
This guy has such a nice, delicate touch. This will put him on the hill, 8-6. We're only going to 9. Mika is, if we can see him, he's a little disgusted with himself right now. He knows that he fell off, got lost track of the last couple games.
Well, I think his shot selection failed him in a couple of those innings, and then his execution, and you compound that, and you're going to stay in your chair.
I mean, when you sat down, I said he looks like the Mika that won back-to-back U.S. Opens, and boy, I put a jinx on him.
Well, actually, I think it was Ko that put it on him and not you, Jay.
Okay, thanks,
I'll let you
Ken.
off the hook on this one.
Thanks very much. Well, if you
And just before he breaks, one more reminder. Jay told you what's coming at 3 is Earl and Shane, and then 6 p.m. is the one pocket final between Dennis and Corey. That's 1 race to 5.
That's a long match.
Yeah. And today is Sunday. Tuesday evening, the U.S. Open 8-ball begins. And the first matches will be 6 p.m. Tuesday night Pacific time.
Well, Kenny, I'm really glad that I got a chance to join you here, because this is my last day here. I got to go back to my day job tomorrow.
But you're leaving your roommates here, aren't you?
They're here.
Okay.
They're here.
Okay.
The Filipino contingent will stay on.
All right. Well, Mika, with what could be his last opportunity here, he best do something to stay at the table here or put such a good safety on him that he has another inning coming.
Interesting to me that these last 3 break shots by Coe, he has not made a ball.
Right.
And he was making 2 and 3 balls every break. Mika could opt to cut this ball.
Speaking of balls, and just real quickly here before Mika does what, well, let's just see if he's going to decide here. We'll wait till after the shot. He's still a little undecided.
He knows this is his last
Yeah,
opportunity.
he's got to cut this, Jay. I don't think he can afford to do anything else. But if he cuts it, he's got to go over and back twice. And I don't know if the two looks like it'll pass the 5.
Yeah, the good thing is I don't think you got to really worry too much about position. Just let the cue ball go back and forth across
Well,
the table.
if the cue ball winds up where the 1 ball is, he's
Then
going to be
true,
hooked.
Right.
But he's got to go 4 times here, I think. 1, 2, 3,
He's all
4.
right.
That's
all
that's
right.
that's
He's all
fine.
right.
Okay, now he's got to fade the 9 and the 10 to get on the 3.
Even the 4 might come into play. This is not an easy position
Heck
shot.
no.
He does not have a big angle here.
The only other thing, Jay, is to snatch it into the rail near the 4 and back out near the middle of the table. 1 rail. Just like that, yeah. But the 4 got him.
Boy, he was trying to snap it all the way back between
the 4 and the 8, yeah.
Like, you know, a monster draw.
Well, he hit it so firm, it drew, but it didn't bend quick enough because of the speed.
Well, he'll probably come off.
I like cutting
edge.
it. I like hit the 3 on the right, 2 rails
Right.
towards the 5, put the 3 behind the 6, 7, 4.
I got to agree with that. Now, can he execute it?
He better. I think he did so. If he doesn't leave him a window, he didn't.
No window here.
All right, that's an excellent safety by Mika. I don't even know if Coe can get between the 6 and the cushion. He's got to go 3 rails behind it, and he's called it in the side by the 8 ball. He's going to go 3 rails behind it, call it in the side, and hopefully the cue ball will slide up that cushion near the ball, near the side pocket.
This will show his billiard knowledge. He's kind of known as a pretty good billiard player in Taiwan as well. And with that knowledge of the rails, he'll probably make a good hit on this ball. Even though it looks like a very tricky shot to hit 3 rails, I'll bet he hits it pretty square. And as we saw what happened with Mika 2 games ago, you've got to make sure you hit the ball.
Yeah, he'll hit this ball. I'd be just flabbergasted if he missed the whole ball here. It's just a huge ball to hit.
An interesting thing I've noticed is that when players kick and hit a ball on a difficult kick shot, about half the time they do not leave an easy shot.
Well, they're kicking to a specific point on the ball. I mean, that's what Efren taught the world.
Let's see.
It should be medium speed.
Nice hit.
Nice hit. And you see the cue ball run right up that rail behind the green.
Mika doesn't like it. Mika doesn't like it.
Mika, well,
but
that shot,
that
shot was planned and executed to perfection. That was not lucky by any means, neither the hit nor the leave.
Mika can kick 1 rail across table into the 3. The side pocket's kind of in the way here. So if he
No, I
kicks
don't
off,
think the side pocket's in the way. I think he can hit just beyond the point, and he can hit it firm with no English, or he could back it up a little bit. But I
you
wouldn't
think he can hit that one flat?
Yeah, but I wouldn't hit this firm. I'd want to hit this where if I miss it, the cue ball is going to head towards the 5.
One thing that's for certain, he better hit it.
Well, you're damn right he better hit it.
And he didn't. I was afraid of that.
The speed
kid.
lengthened it out
I
because
was
he didn't
afraid
check
of
the
that.
cue ball.
I was afraid of that.
All right. Well, Coe still has to deal with the 8-9.
Mika's shaking his head, kind of ambling back to his chair. He knows it's probably curtains for him right now.
Well, there's still some work to do because I'm just looking for a way to break up the 8-9 off of one of the object balls and then have a shot. And he can't do it off the 3. What I think maybe he could do is play the 3 in the side, draw back, and break him up by playing the 4 in the corner.
Kenny, you can see
and drawing one rail into the 8.
Kenny, you can see. Do you think you could billiard this one, getting rail first down underneath the 8?
I don't think you can get enough of the 9 ball. I think
Okay.
you'll hit the 9 too fat because the 8's too close.
Well,
I mean, that's the way it looks like from here.
what we're observing right here is not contemplating the 3 ball. He's thinking about the same thing we're talking
The 8-9.
about. What am I going
Right.
to do with this 8 and 9? He knows he can handle all the rest of the balls.
The only way I think he can do the 8-9J is he'd have to come in at rail first. Contact the 8 rail first and then have the cue ball follow forward. But, you know, that's hard to do.
Well, we're going to find out soon enough.
If it's me, I would like to try to break it up off the 4 ball because the 5 is my insurance. See this? Low left, 1
Now
rail at the 8.
Looking at the 8-9 this way, I believe you can go rail first and make the
Well,
9, and the 8's going to go
Right.
over towards
Well,
the other cover
we'll
pocket.
know right now. If he doesn't go for the breakout here, then that's exactly what he's going to do, Jay, is try to play the 8-9 billiard cushion first. But if that 6 isn't in the way, he can go at him right now. No, he's going to play it. He's going to play the 8-9 billiard.
Mark my words, Mr. Schumann. I see a rail first shot coming up.
Oh yeah, for sure. I
Okay.
mean, once he made his decision not to go for the breakout, he's obviously playing it for the carom.
Well, the key to that shot is how he plays position off the 7.
Oh, he tried to break it that way.
He did. He did. He made a nice combination out of it. But
Well-
now he's got a real difficult shot on the 6 ball. He wanted the cue ball to go up table.
Sure he did. See, that's
What
why
happens?
I
He
didn't
double
like
kick.
breaking it off that ball because your insurance ball was a little more difficult if you didn't get the cue ball down table.
Yeah, he double kissed the 8 ball there.
Right.
Is he playing a combination? Did he call the combination?
I can't tell. I don't know what he called. I think he's playing it in the corner. And then that's not going to lay well. He's going to have to just stun the cue ball into the rail and straight out for the 7. He overcut it.
Look at this.
Oh,
Mika got a break.
yeah, Mika got a pardon from the governor right there is what he got.
Great line. He got a pardon from the governor. Can I use that one
Yeah,
sometime?
you can use that one.
I'm going to write that one down.
They were about to throw the switch.
Kenny, where'd you get? They were about to throw the switch, and he got a last-minute pardon from the governor. That's the highlight. That's the highlight quote of the week right there.
Well, Mika's got no cupcake yet here. I mean, the first thing, of course, he's got to make this ball. And the 9's got part of that pocket block. Mika doesn't want to He doesn't want to back cut it though.
Why is he shooting? Why doesn't he back cut it?
I
This is a tough shot.
Okay,
He made it look easy.
He
didn't
had more of the pocket maybe than it appeared to us.
Just when we thought this match was going to be over,
I still
Mika
think.
steps back
well,
in.
it all goes back to decision making. Coe's decision to break the 8-9 the way he chose to, I don't think was the best approach to it. Like I said, I thought he got good on the 4 to draw 1 rail across into it because he put all his eggs in the 1 basket. If he played to break him off the 4 and wasn't able to, he could still make the 5. He could have maybe got on the 6 in the side and still tried to break him up or even off the 7.
Well, the evidence is right here. He made a mistake.
Yeah.
Mika was certain this match was over. I mean, he looked like he was ready to put his cue away.
He's got to make sure that 8 doesn't leak into the short rail here.
Yeah, that's why he stood up.
Right.
He
It's
realized
not
he's gotta be very
because he's
careful.
actually, he doesn't have to cut the 8 much, but he's just got to be careful it stays. See that? It almost came over, Jay. He's all right now, of course.
Mika pulls back in, 1 game behind. It will be 8-7 in a race to 9. And the good news is Mika's breaking.
I'll tell you, Jay, you and I have watched tens of thousands of professional pool matches, and it just amazes me how many times the guy that gets to the hill first has a difficult time in the last rack. That last rack is so hard to win.
What do they always say? The
First
rack
and the
and the
last one.
rack are
Right.
the toughest ones to win.
Exactly. It's like winning your first tournament. Some guys, once they finally break through and win a tournament, they start winning tournaments.
And if and I've seen very good players that could never win. They could make the top 4, they could make the top 6. They couldn't cross the finish line.
Right.
I won't name names, but I can think of a few that just couldn't.
Sure.
They didn't have what
Right.
it takes to close the tournament out. Watch this break, Kenny. You haven't
Okay.
seen Mika break yet. Watch.
Okay.
See?
All right. Off the rail.
Not even a diamond out. His hand will be on the rail.
Yeah.
And it's a controlled break of like medium soft.
Is he playing the second row balls in the side? Is that what he's usually trying to do? Yeah, he's playing the 5 in the side, and he
Right.
got it. Yeah. But see, that break usually will result in you not having a shot on the 1.
Well, he tries to get the 1 to track towards the pocket.
Yeah, but
often
with that,
this is the angle
but
right here.
but that's because he took a deeper angle at the stack on the break shot. Ko is like 2 inches either side of the spot. Mika is like 8 inches to the right of the spot, even though he's on the rail.
You know, he's got a billiard from the
Yeah.
1 to the 4. Will he play?
It's
He
tough
hasn't called
tough
it.
to control the 1 though, Jay. You're going to need some speed to make the 4 because you got to draw the rock.
He must be
I
playing
like
safe.
safe behind the
Well,
4.
that's what he's playing.
Yeah.
That's what he's playing. He's
Oh.
playing safe. He's using that 7 ball. I think he got him.
Yeah, I think he got him too.
And he's got that 1 covered pretty good by the 6 ball.
He might be able to masse and hit the long rail first, but then I don't know. It's going to be tough to get a cushion. If he comes up behind the 10, he's going to have to spin it and risk, of course, hitting the 6 before he hits the 1. If he can spin behind the 10 and get between the 1 and 2 with the cue ball, that's the best way to hit it. But see where he's got his hand? He's looking at going where his left hand is and coming at it in that direction, maybe rail first.
Any way he hits this ball, there's a good chance he will give Mika
He'll
an
sell,
opportunity.
he'll sell out at least a return safety. Yeah.
That's the way he's going.
Yeah,
Around the 10.
I do like this way. I think you've got a bigger ball to hit here. It would be pretty unfortunate to miss the 1 and go between the 1 and the cushion and just fan the whole thing. So I think this is the right choice.
A lot of times a shot like that, the outcome is in the hands of the pool gods. He's just trying to make a good hit on it right now. But it could go up there and
Yeah.
come off the edge of the 4 and go in the corner pocket.
Yeah.
Almost anything could happen on this shot. One thing I will say, see, Mika's on the edge of his seat again. He's got his game face on.
Well,
He knows
he's
he's back in the
expecting to come
match.
back to the table. And, of
Yeah.
course, if Ko doesn't call this ball in the corner, he did call it in the corner by the 4.
Well, that's a good thing.
Well, you got to, you know. But he certainly can't. He just can't foul here. Anything but a foul.
Oh, I think he's going to hit it all right.
That's
Wait a second.
no, that was good, Jay.
It was good.
Yeah, it was good because the direction of the 6 couldn't have gone that direction if the cue ball hit it first.
Yeah, and Mika realized it too. He
Right.
didn't protest.
Right.
I don't think Mika can bank this ball. I think it's a little bit too
No, he can't.
severe an angle.
No, he can't make it. I mean, this is like a Brumback bank. You got to stiff this with about a warp drive.
Call John.
Yeah.
You think
I
he'll
mean,
go back and forth across table and try to hide the cue ball behind the 6 and 7?
I'd put the cue ball behind the 10.
Yeah, he's going
I,
the other.
I want to get the 1 away from the 2.
Yeah, he's bringing the cue ball down table.
Yeah.
Behind
Use
the
the-
8-10. He didn't go far enough.
No, but he didn't leave a pocket, but certainly he left him the whole ball. Now, can Ko roll through the 1 and put him behind those 2 green stripes?
I think he can. Mika's pretty disgusted with himself
Well,
right
that's
there.
a bad effort. That's a poor effort by Mika.
He had a big, look at that, those 3 balls there. He had a big area.
He's got another foot he could have traveled with the cue ball. He got a little timid with it.
He just didn't have the speed right on that shot. It's a little bit of a tight fit here to bank the cue ball past the 1. I mean, to bank the 1 ball past the cue ball is what I should say.
Well, I think there's no kiss if he just sends the 1 straight back and rolls through it with the cue ball and just try to get the cue ball in between those 2 green balls.
He wants to make
But
sure the
I
1
think
doesn't hit anything.
I think he's cutting the 1 to the right now. No, that was the shot. Roll through it and go between the 2 green balls. Yeah, Jay. That was-
perfectly executed.
Yep, that was the shot.
As opposed to Mika's shot, this is a well-done safety.
Right, and now this is a hard ball to hit only because it's out in space. I mean, he should hit it. A player of his caliber should at least hit this ball, but the fact that it's not near a cushion makes it a harder ball to hit.
And remember, last track he missed that ball on probably an easier kick shot than this
When
one.
he kicked the one cross side, yeah.
That's an important thing to note, what Kenny said. When the object ball is far away from the rails, it's much harder to hit it, particularly at distance, and he's 7 feet away.
He's also, I think, got to spin the cue ball. He's got to, put a little right-hand twist on this to lengthen it out, Jay. I don't know how far up the rail he can go past that 6.
He's calling the one in the corner,
Okay.
just in case. But
Yeah.
truth be known, he just wants to
He'll be
make sure he
happy.
makes a good hit.
Right. But he's also got to be careful he doesn't hit the one and scratch by the 3 ball. That's a possibility too.
Boy, we've got a nice crowd of people watching this match. He hit it. What's he going to give up here? Not much. Not much.
No, but he's going to find himself behind the 9 ball here if Ko can get the 1 past the 9 without the 9 moving, of course. I don't think the 1 goes anywhere. If it goes by the 4, he's certainly going to play it, but I think he's going to just draw him kind of in between the 9 and the 10.
Well, he didn't waste a moment on this shot. He saw what he wanted to do right away.
I just can't see it passing the 4, Jay. I think he's going between the 9-10 with the cue ball.
Right.
Sure.
He did exactly what you said. Stuck that.
All right, now this one's a little easier to hit because it's closer to the cushion, but I don't know if he's got a 3-rail kick. I don't know if he can get past that side pocket to kick at 3 rails.
This match has been like 2 different matches. The first part of the match was all offense. The last part of the match is all safety play.
Well, the closer you get to the finish line, the tougher it becomes, especially when you got the other guy breathing down your neck.
Mika's in trouble here, because even if he hits this ball, there's really nowhere to hide the 1 ball.
No, the best way to kick at this would be 3 rails behind the 1 and send the 1 up here and just hope it gets behind something. But I don't know if he can kick 3 rails because of the side pocket.
I think that's too risky. I think he's going to have to come 1 rail across the table.
Yeah, well, you're almost assured that you're either going to sell out a shot or sell out an easy return safe with a 1-rail kick.
He's looking at the 3 rails right now. That's what he's looking at. He's going to have to be careful. Does he want to? I can't believe this. I can't believe this.
Well,
he's got to hit this with inside English and hold it.
Well, actually, I think maybe if he went that way, it'd just be draw. Draw would bend the angle, but he'd have to make sure he didn't hit the point to the side coming at that 1.
If he goes 1 rail back and forth across the table, he's going to hit it hard.
Well, he also, though, if he goes 1 rail across, he could hit the 1 and scratch right in that corner pocket too, Jay. If you this way.
Look. See, what he's pointing at is the side pocket's
Yeah,
kind
3
of in
rails.
his way.
No, I think he called it in the side, and he's going 3 rails behind it, which is the proper. It's the best. It gives him the best chance to come back to the table here.
Boy, he barely got a cue ball on it. He's going to give it. Wait a second.
No,
yeah,
he
gave
can
up
see
a
it.
shot.
Yeah. Well, he had to make sure he didn't hit the 4 ball off the second cushion, and that's why he caught the 1 without hitting the 3rd rail.
If Cope goes on to win this match at this point, it's really thanks to his better safety play.
And Mika's poor execution the last 3 or 4 games. I mean, Mika was in control, 6-4.
Yeah, we saw him. He failed on that safety where he allowed Ko to put him behind those balls up table between the 6 and 7. I mean, we're still 8 balls away from victory, but this is really a golden opportunity for Ko Pin-Yi to close out this match.
Actually, all he's got to do here really is get straight in on the 3 ball. Just got to watch the side pocket here, and that's fine.
Ken, as we've seen so many times before, sometimes things go askew and
they
kilter.
do. Yeah, you still got to make the balls, no matter how routine they look.
believe me, at this point in the match, I don't care how great a player you are, you're feeling a little bit in the nerves.
Right. The only other thing that he's probably going to have a little bit of care with is the angle on the 8, so the cue ball's not going near the 9 or the 10.
Yeah, see, that little cluster can be difficult,
Right.
the 8, 9, 10.
Well, if you look at the table, if you had the cue ball anywhere where it is now, that's perfect for the 8 ball.
Well, from what I've seen of this guy over the last few years, he closes out a match pretty good. He maintains his composure very well.
That's
Key
just
shot coming up right here.
Yeah.
He's got to stretch a little bit for this shot.
I don't think he's got to stretch that much.
And he's going to be reaching over the top of the balls.
I like the cue ball back about where it is right now.
Well, that would be ideal.
Yep. Even if it had to be a little more towards the center of the table to just play it safe, you know. But he may. Yeah, you're right, Jay. He does have to stretch a little more
and
than
a little
I expected.
A little awkward bridge here.
Straight draw, right about where his tip is. Oh, that's fine. That's great. And
Boy,
now
he really hit that ball well.
Okay. He can draw this in between the 9 and the 8, and I think that's the shot. And they'll play the 9 in the same pocket. Now he played the 9 on the side, even better.
Nicely done. 2 balls to close out the match.
And it's
110
Mika
ball
has
away.
conceded.
Mika gives it to him. We have a winner. Ko-Pin Yi wins 9-7. Stay tuned. 3 o'clock. Shane Van Boning, Earl Strickland coming up. This is Jay Helford on behalf of Ken Schumann. Thank you so much.